Today, we're mastering a critical skill for high stakes leadership: how to structure a persuasive argument. Previously, we learned the 1, 2, 3 speaking framework and focused on executive brevity, keeping things short. But when you need to be persuasive, brevity is not enough. You need the area method. First, let's identify the credibility trap and the subjective bias. Let's start by defining the problem. When leaders try to be persuasive, they often rely on gut feeling or personal experience, which fails to convince skeptical stakeholders. Here are the classic traps to watch out for. The first is the hollow decision. This occurs when you state a firm decision but fail to explain the strategic logic behind it. You might say, "We need to pivot," and stop, without the why. Your team sees a mandate, not a strategy. The next is the missing evidence. You give a clear opinion, but without market data or a precedent, it remains just an opinion. In a boardroom, an opinion without evidence is invisible. And finally, we have the blind spot. You present a solution, but fail to acknowledge the obvious risks. This makes you look naive rather than strategic. I'd like to introduce you to the area method for strategic expansion and take you beyond the brevity of the 1, 2, 3 speaking framework. So let's have a look at this solution. The area method is the architecture of argumentation. It forces you to build a complete business case in 4 logical steps: the answer, the reason, the example, and the alternative. The answer is the executive stance. We start with a direct decision or position. We don't waffle or hesitate. We simply offer an immediate opinion, such as, "To be honest, I definitely think we should proceed with the merger." Next is the reason. The reason is the strategic rationale. This is the way we immediately bridge to the logic. Why is this necessary now? For example, I could offer, "This is mainly because our current market share is stagnating, and we need to acquire their technology to compete." The next step in the area method is the example. This is the market proof. We move from abstract logic to concrete evidence. We can use a case study, a competitor, or a data point. As an example, I could say, "For instance, when competitor X acquired a similar tech firm last year, their stock value rose by 15%. And finally, we have the alternative, the final risk awareness step of the area method. This is the advanced step. We need to acknowledge the downside to show that we have calculated the risk. For example, in this scenario, I might say, "Having said that, integration will be costly. So we need to be prepared for a difficult third quarter." Mastering the area method ensures that when you're speaking at length, you're not just rambling. You're speaking with precision while building a defensible business case. And that's the end of this lesson.